What's going on, everyone? So here's the famous video that I've been promising. So I'm gonna put everything that you need to know about the race, and but I don't want to forget to thank all of you for signing up. Without you guys, then there's no race. And we've been working very hard to have every single year a better race than the year before. So I'm gonna start with the most important thing, is the location. Believe it or not, I got people that on the date of the race, they tell me they're at Lake Elsinore. It's Lake Perris recreational area, state recreational area. So for those that are running the 50K or the 10K and that you're not camping, you need to download an app called Yodel. It's YODEL. I'm gonna put under the description of the video all the links that you need to know as far as the app, drop locations for the parking lot, everything. So if you're not camping, you need to download the app. So when you show up to the lake, as long as you do it after midnight on the date of the race on Saturday, it will allow you to pay for the 10-day pass. $10 pass that gives you access for the whole day at the lake, which is from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And again, it's $10. And those that are not camping, you have to have that downloaded. Now, as far as the parking, very important. There's two entrances to Lake Perris. There's one where you come in off Ramona Expressway, and the one you come from Iris Vista Del Lago. That's considered the Moreno Valley entrance. That's where you need to come in. If you come in from the Ramona Expressway, you're gonna be stuck behind a line and it's gonna be closed. So you have to look at your GPS and ensure that it's sending you through Iris and Via del Lago, and it's called the Moreno Valley entrance. And that you're gonna be, when you pull up on the where the tent is supposed to be, you need to come in at the very least 4:30 or 5 in the morning if you're not picking up your bib the day before. Bibs can be picked up at the lake where we're gonna be camping, which is group campground number 2, anytime around after 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon. And again, if you're not picking it up, you need to be at the lake. You need to be parked at the latest by 5 a.m. and walking up to pick up your bib. And that's at Hunter's parking lot. I will also drop a pin for the location of Hunter's parking lot. That's where you're gonna park for the race. So as I mentioned, the campground that we have for the race, where the race is gonna start, that's the beginning of the starting lineup, and basically your 10-mile loop will come back into the campground. So that's for those that are camping. Again, campground number 2, which is right next to Hunter's parking, where everybody's gonna be parked, except for those that are camping. If you are camping, and now there was an option on Ultra sign up where you indicated you are camping, but then there was a fee, $20 fee. Some, I think they put camping, but they didn't pay the fee. So the way it works, we only get 20 car passes. So we're gonna give priority to those that actually pay for the camping. And if you're not one of the first 20 or you don't get a pass, then all you gotta do is the same thing like everybody else. Download the app, and you can still camp with us, but you're gonna have to park at Hunter's parking lot. And we already got the permit, so you guys can stay there overnight. Now, if you are running the 50K and you only have the day pass, the lake again technically is open from 6 to 10 p.m. So technically after 10 p.m. you better be done and then going home from there. But talk to the lake, that shouldn't be an issue. Now for the campground, you can come in after 3 p.m. They are having an actual event on Friday. It's a time trial for some bike cycling event. So they're gonna close down the entrance to the campground, the entrance to Hunter's parking lot. So I will be allowed to go in there about 7:30 a.m. But once I'm in and I'm setting up, I can't even come out until 3 p.m. So don't show up any earlier than 3 p.m. unless you are helping me set up. Then you can show up at 7:30 with me. Let me spend a little more on the bib pickup and your race package. So if you are camping with us, then that's gonna be pretty easy. You're already gonna be setting up your campground with us, your tent, and again, like I told many of you, there's no hookups. It has to be tent camping. And there you can pick up your bib. We'll probably be ready to do that after 4 p.m. for sure. So if you live around the area, you can come pick up your stuff if you don't want to get up extra early. Now, if you're just gonna show up on race day and you need to pick up your bib and all of that, I will highly suggest that you probably park by 4 a.m., 4:30 at the latest. So by 5 a.m. you already have your package and you're ready to race. That way also gives you time to, many people ask about their area, if they're gonna be able to, you have a transition area. Again, that's at the campground where we start in the race. We're gonna have all the tents set up. If you are camping, you just pull up, check in. After each lap, you have to make sure we get you, like you completed a lap. Then you can proceed to get whatever you need. Same things for the 50K and for the 100K. For the 10K, that's going to be pretty fast race. You're just going to go out and back 3.1 miles out, and then you come back. You're not going to need a transition, none of that. This is more directly for 50Ks and 100Ks. We're starting the race at 6 a.m. Exactly at 6 a.m. So if you are coming from somewhere, honestly, like, leave the house early. You never know. One issue sometimes that we had at the lake is that some people come fishing and then they make a big old line. If you're coming in very close to 6 a.m., even if you picked up your bib, there's a chance you might get stuck behind people trying to enter the lake for fishing. And so I would highly suggest, if you're not camping and you're showing up on the day of the race, show up before 5. Otherwise, you might be stuck, and we're going to start the race. You can still start the race if you're late, but your time already started. 6 a.m., the chip time is going to start for everyone. And 10K, 50K, 100K, everybody starting at 6 a.m. One other additional detail, when you pick up your bib, whether it's the day of camping or the day of the race, you're going to have show us that you have a lamp. Actually, you have to have the lamp with you to start the race. Last time we started in the dark, many people didn't have their lamps, and guess what? Even though it's well marked, they couldn't see, so they were getting lost. So you can't start the race unless you have a headlamp. It doesn't matter if you're running a 10K, you have to have a headlamp. And you need it also, so for those that are doing the 50K, 100K, you can take it off after the first lap, because by then sunrise, you're gonna have a little bit of sunrise, but it might be a little dark because we do expect some rain. And I'll talk more about the rain in a minute. But once again, I can't stress it enough, headlamps, you can't start the race. You forgot it, I'm sorry, but you can't start the race without a headlamp. Take it off after your first lap, and then I can guarantee you that maybe not the 50Ks and possibly the 50Ks too, but the 100Ks, no matter how fast you are, you're going to need a headlamp probably for your last lap, and for some of you, you're going to need it for a longer time. A little more about the weather. It's been just changing. At one point it was showing that it was going to be hot, 79 degrees. Last year in April, it was a little more late April. Maybe contribute to a lot of those DNFs that it wasn't too hot, but it was like in the 80s, and because of all the vegetation, it probably got humid down there. But guess what? Now the weather's saying that it's 60 or 70% chance of rain. It's going to be in the low 60s, 10 to 20 miles per hour winds. So for this, I would highly suggest bring the appropriate gear. Bring some type of rain jacket for running. I mean, not sure I would have to go skate to go ice skating or whatever, but bring the appropriate clothes for a rainy day. As far as the race cancellation, things like that, I mean, that's not going to happen. The show's going to go on, but I leave it up to you guys. We're not going to shut it down. Of course, we did experience recently, we were at Valencia, and that had to be shut down. The trails were getting destroyed, but that was like very extreme rain, and because of the layout of those trails, they really got messed up. With us, I don't foresee that being an issue. Now, the second loop, it has a very technical downhill. If it's raining, if it's muddy, you definitely need to be cautious, otherwise you're gonna slide down the mountain. But that's really up to you. We're all responsible for ourselves. You sign a waiver, but that's not like the main thing. I still want you to take care of yourself, but I can't be out there for you. I only know for myself, our friends. We've done all kinds of crazy races, all kinds of terrains, weathers, and it's really up to you if you want to continue. But as far as within my power, we're not canceling the race. It's gonna happen, and if you feel like it's too dangerous for you, the trails get too dangerous, then you call it a day, and that's fine. Take your DNF. Go join the camping or whatever. But that's all I gotta say. Prepare, bring the proper shoes. I will highly suggest also trekking poles. It will make a huge difference. Even if it didn't rain, that terrain, the technical trails that we have, it probably makes a lot of sense to bring trekking poles. So that's it about the weather. So let's talk about nutrition and what we're gonna have for you guys. So as mentioned before, at the starting lineup, that's the campground. We will have an aid station there, and we will have another one at mile 5 before you hit the second climb. Now, on a personal level, me and my friends, we've been doing a ton of races over the years, and we experienced everything from, aid stations that look like a buffet to aid stations that have absolutely nothing but water. And that happened to us, the Spartan race for the Ultra Beast. They just had water. In the beginning, there was not even no one there. So different races, different methods. But what I will say bring what you need. Whatever you need. Don't try new things on race day. Most people know that, but it's common knowledge. But I will keep saying it. Have what you need. Pretend like we're not gonna have nothing out there, but we will have. We will have water, obviously, so you can refill. We have electrolytes. It's basically we use a Gatorade mix. And then as far as fruit, common stuff, bananas, some watermelon. We'll probably some type of trail mix, but that's just extra. You should really have what you need because you're gonna have a transition area at the beginning of the race where you can put whatever you want. Some people like to drink. I believe Ruperto was having a Modelo after each lap. That's what works for him. More power to him. I kind of like doing that too. But anyways, so that's the aid stations. NXPT down in San Diego, they're gonna be at the mile 5 aid station. So we're gonna try to like be set up in a way that we're there to support you, to encourage you, because the aid station is right before you hit the second climb, and some of you have been seeing what the climb looks like. It's gonna be fun. Also, we do have food that a lot of people order for after the race. That's gonna vary like when people finish, but I believe it's we offering is rice, beans, salsa, tortillas, and either steak or chicken, and it was prepaid. So if you didn't do prepay and you still want to do it, reach out to me and we'll take care of that. Sometimes we have extra food, and then we'll be able to, to sell someplace for you guys. Other than that, bring whatever you need. For the pacers, typically for 50K, you don't really need a pacer, but I will allow a pacer for those that run the 50Ks. I know we have a lot of new people that never ran a 50K, so if you want to have someone, a friend of yours, bring someone for the last lap. So you got to complete 2 laps, and then you could pick up a pacer at the starting lineup, and they can go with you. They can't carry your stuff. They're just there for really, a pacer is just for company. Some people need motivation. Some people don't need that. They just need someone to go with them. For whatever's the reason that you want a pacer, if you want to have one on the 50K, you got to do 2 laps. For the 100K, you got to complete 4 laps, and then you can pick up a pacer for the last 2 laps. The cutoff times. We're being very generous, but I believe some of you will probably gonna need the whole time. So for the 50K, we're giving you 15 hours. So if you're starting at 6 a.m., that's how many hours is that? At 6 p.m., that's 12 hours. So 9 p.m., that's a cutoff time for you. Gotta be done for the 50K by 9 p.m., which is a long time. For the 100K, we're giving you 23 hours. So basically, you have until Sunday at 5 in the morning to complete the 100K. So that's more time than I think for those distances that anybody's gonna give you. So my goal is actually for everyone to finish. We don't do the course, we don't do anything. So we have a bunch of DNFs. They just happen to be the last year for both races. For April and November, we did have about a 46% DNF ratio. It could be different circumstances why that happened, but that's not the goal. But we do have a cool little DNF Wall of Fame, and it's not to shame anyone, but the idea, we have so many people coming back after they DNF our races, and this is people that have completed even 100 milers, but it happens to everyone, right? Except for us. Just kidding. It's gonna happen sooner or later. If you keep doing harder stuff, it's gonna happen. So we do have a little wall where you can put your bibs. So this is the way it's gonna work. You could have different reasons why you want to stop. It could be at the second loop, third loop, if you're doing 100K, or it could be, we had someone at 100 miler that dropped at mile 90, but he was hurting obviously. So when that happens, you need to come talk to us, give us your bib, we mark you down as a DNF, and we'll put you on the Wall of Fame. And again, that's actually a motivation thing. I would love to see anybody that doesn't finish the race, talk to me, we get you into the next race, and we have you finish it somehow. And we do have a lot of DNFs personally that I know that are coming for this race, and they're gonna come for redemption. So let's get it. Another thing that I feel like, again, is you get the most bang for your buck out of a race, because as you notice in a lot of the races now, photography, everything, they're charging you, I don't know what they're charging, $30, $40 for 3 photos, and typically they're pretty crappy. We have the best fucking photographer, El Pinche Fotógrafo. Ignacio is gonna be out there for video. He's gonna have his drone out there, and you're gonna have professional photos. Everybody's gonna get photos except Miriam. So with that said, headphones. I don't say they're not allowed, but I really, if you're gonna have headphones, at the very least, have one ear available so that you could hear. A lot of our on the course, there's a lot of technical terrain, so you really need to be able to hear who's coming behind you. Mind you, you're gonna have people that are much faster and they're gonna probably overlap you. I believe Ruperto overlaps some of you 3 times within the first half a day. So you got to be able to hear who's coming behind you because there's single track and there's very technical. We were at a race and people were getting run over. Like, you don't want that to happen. You got to be able to hear what's going on. Also, I'm not going to tell you don't use your cell phone, don't take selfies, don't take video, but please pay attention to the trail, to your surroundings. Again, don't worry, we're gonna have awesome pictures, videos. You've seen the kind of stuff that we've been posting. And again, Ignacio is gonna be out there on the trail taking videos of you. So what I want you to do is focus on the race. Don't worry about, I know we all love the photos and the videos. I mean, I've been making videos on the race while I'm running, but focus on the race. We'll have plenty of high quality photo and video for you at no cost to you. If anyone runs the 50K in 6 hours or under, you get a lifetime pass to any of our trail races, and we'll honor it as long as we're doing races. If anyone does the 100K under 15 hours, same thing, lifetime pass. I know that my buddy Hannibal, which he's a beast, he said he was going to do it in 12 hours, but I think he said that before there was additional climbing. So, but I think he has a shot of doing it. And there's a lot of other people that I know that they could probably do it. And I would love for someone to do that. So 6 hours for the 50K, 15 hours for the 100K, and you get a lifetime pass to any of our trail events that we have as long as we're around. Promise. So if you made it to the end of this video, actually watch the whole thing. Again, I want to thank everyone involved, participants, volunteers, everyone that is going to be part of this event. It's going to be an awesome event. Any questions on the description of the video, you will see links for different things. My number is pretty much everywhere. Email, any way that if I miss something, go ahead and just send me a text, an email, and if you still have questions, we'll address them. But again, this video should cover everything, and on the description of the YouTube video, you should see links to different things that I mentioned from the location, the parking, and different things. With that said, I'll see you guys on Friday or Saturday, and it's gonna be an amazing day.